All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to talk about a new tool called Gavelaw. And the whole idea behind it is to completely change how regular people, like you and me, deal with the legal system. It's really about building an infrastructure that, honestly, probably should have existed all along.
You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach when something happens? Maybe it's a traffic ticket, a dispute with the landlord, or just some document that makes no sense. And all of a sudden, you're thrown into this world with its own language, its own rules, a system that feels like it wasn't built for you.
So you start asking questions. And the first one is usually just pure disbelief, like, why on earth does it work like this? The whole process just feels so backward and confusing.
And then comes the sticker shock. You realize it could cost hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars just to figure out what your basic rights are. It just feels fundamentally wrong, doesn't it?
And finally, you're just hit with the sheer complexity of it all. It almost feels like it's designed to be overwhelming. Well, that feeling is exactly why Gavelaw was created, to finally give people a real answer and a better way forward.
So what's the real problem here? I mean, it's not some big conspiracy where the law is being hidden from us. The actual issue is simpler, and maybe even more frustrating. It's a gap in infrastructure.
And this is the key thing to understand. The laws themselves, the statutes, the court rulings, that's all public information. You can go look it up. But what's been kept behind a gate is the ability to structure all that information, to take your messy, personal story and turn it into a clear, logical case. That's the skill lawyers go to school for years to learn. And this infrastructure gap, it has massive consequences. Get this, a staggering 80% of civil cases in the US have at least one person representing themselves. They're just out there trying to figure out this incredibly complex system all on their own.
And why are they on their own? Well, because the alternative costs, on average, more than $300 an hour. For most people, that is just not happening. That price tag is the wall that keeps so many people from getting help.
So this is where a tool like Gavelaw comes in and just flips the script. The goal is to bring that barrier down to zero. Zero prior legal knowledge needed to just get started organizing your case and figuring out where you stand.
So you might be wondering, what's changed? Why is it possible to fix this now when it wasn't before? Well, the answer is a huge leap in technology, specifically artificial intelligence. I mean, just think about it. The kind of work that would take a paralegal days to do, digging through statutes, finding old cases that are similar, checking legal documents, an AI can now compile all of that in just a few minutes. That's a total game changer in terms of efficiency.
But, and this is super important, we have to be really clear about what AI can and can't do here. It's brilliant at research, at organizing facts, and preparing information. What it absolutely cannot do is argue your case in a courtroom, or read the mood of a judge, or come up with a winning strategy on the fly. AI is an amazing tool for preparation, but it is not a replacement for a human lawyer.
And that's exactly the space Gavelaw operates in. It's not trying to be a digital lawyer, it's a legal intelligence tool, and it's designed to put all that research power of AI directly into your hands.
This really creates a whole new category they call legal intelligence. So this isn't about giving you legal advice, it's about giving you the ability to understand your own situation, to get your facts straight, and to find the actual laws that apply to you, so you can be the one to make smarter, more informed decisions. So let's be crystal clear on this. Gavelaw is a platform for research and for building your case. It is not a law firm, it is not your lawyer, and it does not give legal advice. Think of it as a tool to get you organized and up to speed. In fact, if your situation is serious, they're the first to tell you that you should absolutely talk to a licensed attorney.
This quote from the founder really just nails it. All the pieces of the puzzle, all the information, it's always been out there in public records. Gavelaw's mission is just to finally be the one to connect the wiring for the rest of us.
Okay, so the theory sounds great, but how does this actually work? How does Gavelaw take you from that feeling of total chaos and confusion to a place where you have real clarity?
Well, the main feature is called the Case Builder, and it really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you tell your story, just in your own words, no jargon needed. Second, you let the AI do the heavy lifting, analyzing the details and organizing everything. And third, you get back a complete legal dossier, a timeline, a list of key facts, relevant laws, all structured and ready to use.
And that's not all. The platform has other cool stuff too, like a Precedent Finder that can match your case to similar ones that have already gone through court. There's a ticket defense tool that helps you look for mistakes, and even an officer accountability feature that helps track patterns of behavior.
And all of these individual tools lead to the long-term vision, which is so much bigger than any one person's case. The real goal here is to use all this data to help create a legal system that's more transparent and more accountable for everybody.
So here's the long game. Every time someone uses the platform, their anonymous data helps build this massive data set. This is where things get really interesting, because that data can start to show systemic problems, like trends in police misconduct in a certain area, or big differences in how laws are applied. Things that are easy to dismiss when it's just one person's story, but become impossible to ignore when you have the data from hundreds.
But at the end of the day, the founder says it all comes back to trust. It's about building a tool that feels like it's on your side, like an ally who gets how frustrating this all is, something you can rely on, not just for this one issue, but for the long haul.
And that really leaves us with this final, pretty powerful thought. What if accountability stopped being just something we hope for and started being a documented, data-backed reality? That's the future Gavelaw is trying to build.